Hi guys, we're back. See, I have my microphone. Everything is good. Got some juice. Okay, let me now go to Rumble. Okay, we're on Rumble. Everything is good. We're back on YouTube. Unbelievable, right? The bad boy's back. We'll see how long this lasts. But for everyone that's coming to this channel, returning to the channel, I'm sorry I was away. I was cut down for 2 weeks. They didn't want me to broadcast, so I'm back now. Please, if you could, subscribe to my backup channel, GESARA, on YouTube, because I don't know how long I'm going to get to keep this channel, and know that we've been broadcasting twice a day on Rumble this whole time. So if you're if you want to hear the broadcast, either way, whether or not we're taken down or not, just come to Rumble. Sorry about this. Okay. Let's see if I can go up here. All right. That's good. All right. So we're back. It feels nice to have, it was a good time. Everything is God's will, and we got to really focus on Rumble. Let me see if I can bring this down just a hair. We got to focus on Rumble and really perfect it a bit. We learned some new tricks on posting, on sharing information, placing bets. How long this will last? Yeah, this is my second. This is my second strike. So it's it. Yeah, I wouldn't put any big money on how on me lasting for the next 5 years on this channel. But that's why I'm asking you to check out the backup channel, because I will switch over to that pretty fast, and we'll start fresh. But we will be on Rumble, and fortunately, we have excellent sponsors to back us up, so we're not going to the poorhouse. I'll still be able to pay my rent and all this other stuff. So please check in with the SIA. Um, the Renew, for your skin, man, awesome stuff. Also, good for your hair too. And don't forget our friends LifeWaves. Now we're going to be doing a business meeting with LifeWaves with Dr. Stacy Tuesday at 6:30, and with Jay for a SIA on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. So if you call Jay and let him know, and just say Ellie Zoom, I think he wants you to say, or Ellie, yeah, Ellie Zoom, he will send you a Zoom link for our business meetings, and I think things are going really well, and in the world too. I think we're coming to a new phase in the war. I think we're coming to. I don't know. I would say I was listening to SGN an interview with SGN this morning, and I think he feels kind of like I do, that nothing is going to be abruptly instituted. Like he said, in terms of GESARA, he didn't think it was just going to be like, okay, now it's time for GESARA. It will be rolled out in different stages, like everything else that is occurring. I believe all these things need to take place within the construct of nature. That has to seem like a natural thing. It can't be imposed on the people, because then the people will point to the people imposing it and say, you're the enemy. And so the white hats have to kind of just let this play out. They have I believe they have the looking glass technology, so they know what the future has in store for us. I was start trying to to do a little research on the Q clock. I have it in mind to learn how to read the Q clock a little better. We have some very nice information streams for those of you who haven't been around for a couple weeks. I'll go into that at some point. Probably we will show you this. We have some new things, but I have the ability now to share pictures and articles so that you can read them in real time, and I think that will help. Yeah, Peggy's experiencing really good results with the ASEA. She's feeling much stronger. She's exercising a lot. It's definitely empowering. The ASEA is a life-changing product, and as is LifeWaves. And you know what? I forgot to put on my LifeWave patches. I feel it. I can feel it when I put them on. I feel the a kind of like a little bit of electric, an extra electric pulse. Same with the SIA. The SIA is, I don't feel the SIA right away, but it's kind of a long term empowering effect that helps me concentrate. It helps me focus. So, yeah, so let's just, I want to delve into, first of all, the experience of being away from YouTube for 2 weeks. It's kind of like you settle into your reality very easily. And I just settled into the reality of being on Rumble. It was really a wonderful experience. We did the same number of meetings. So if you missed us, please, take down the URL for Rumble, and we will do the same thing. I will always be broadcasting on Rumble. We're broadcasting on Rumble now, but it's wonderful to have both going, and the chat is a lot easier to use on YouTube. So I'm looking forward to progressing. I have a feeling that this channel is going to get bigger if they don't shadow ban us, which they might do, but it doesn't really matter. I think this information needs to go out there, that this is not the end of the world. This is the beginning of the world. It says in Chassidus that the end is wedged into the beginning. Like it's all really one piece. We live in a quantum age. We live in a quantum world, so our thoughts will manifest. And the power that this family holds to broadcast waves of victory, of tranquility, of comfort, of having a safe place in the storm. And the storm is going to get more interesting. I'm just going to go right now. Speaking of storms, I'm just going to show you a post from Dan Scavino just put out. And this really hits home. If you see the building that it's striking, that this lightning bolt is striking, it's the Washington Monument. And the Washington Monument is one of the 34 satanic structures that's going to come down in the unfolding events ahead. I don't know how that's going to come out. I personally don't think it's going to happen like in one day all 34 structures are going to come down. I think it's going to roll out in what seems to be a natural progression, just like everything else. But that's coming from Dan Scavino. I think that's worth noting. Let's see. Okay, so let's stop sharing. Okay, so we have the ability. I've figured out it's really not so hard. I figured out how to share images and how to share articles. So there's a lot. There's a lot of intel today. I'm probably going to go right for the intel, other than to just remind everyone to just stay calm. And I'm gonna just touch on. Let's see. Do I have my? I'm just gonna say Psalm 23 just to remind us what's going on, and I'm gonna just give a very short thing, a very short piece of Chassidus, and then I'm gonna go into the intel, because there's a lot of very interesting intel that's coming out. I think the economy is, that the bad guys are trapped, and how they're keeping it up even today is beyond my understanding. I don't understand it's all an illusion of what's holding up the stock market. But let's just go through this to remind us, like, just to keep a perspective on things. And then I'll just okay. So Mizmor LaDavid, a song by David. Hashem, God. Source, let's call him Source. Roi lo echsar. Source is my shepherd. I shall not, I do not lack. I shall not lack. We're not going to go without. Binos deshe, in lush meadows, yarbitzeni. He makes me lie down. Al may, and on waters, may, Maya, menuchos, tranquil, comforting. Yinachaleni. He leads me to tranquil waters. You can see behind me, it's pretty tranquil, right? I need the water. Watch the water. Nafshi yeshoivev. He returns my soul. Yancheni b'magle zedek leman neshamo. He guides me on straight paths for the sake of his name. Shemo's name, Gam, and also Ki Elech, and even though I walk Gabay in the valley Zalmoves of death, Lo Ira Ra, I will not fear evil. Because Ki Ata Imadi, because you are with me, Shivtecha, your rod, Umishantecha, and your staff, Hema Binachamuni, they comfort me. Ta'arok lifnai shulchan neged zorai. You prepare a table before my enemies. The enemy's going to see us with big smiles on our faces. This is as the near-death civilization continues. I believe we're well into the storm. We're well into the golden age. We're well into the great awakening. Deshante b'shemen roishi. He anoints my head. He puts oil on my head. Koisi revaya. My cup is full. Af and toiv, and only af. Ach tov. Ach good. Only good. Vechesed and kindness. Yardufuni will pursue me. Kol yimei chaya. All the days of my life. Chaya. Bishanti b'veis Adonai leorech yomim, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for many long days. Now, that fits very neatly in a very quick thing of Chassidus that I'm going to give you, which is to explain the difference. I'm trying to figure it out too. It's not like I really understand this stuff completely, but the difference between the world of Tohu and the world of Tikkun. Tohu means like chaos. It means every man for himself. It means I cannot bear you because I just don't like you because you're not me. Basically, it's like my way or the highway. And tikkun means repair. It means, you know what, man? I don't agree with you. I don't really necessarily hold with you, but you're okay, man. You're okay in my book. I like you. You're a beautiful person. I like to hang with you. We don't agree on some things, but I can still be with you, and that's the world of tikkun. That's the world of repair. Now, the thing that I've kind of coming to understand from this teaching is that tohu, they say tohu, the world of chaos, actually comes from a higher energy level. Tikkun is more, it's repair. It's like, okay, let's just fix the world. It doesn't have the charge of tohu. And that's why in Kabbalah they talk about the spheros hakalim, the shattering of the vessels. I hope I pronounced it right. My Hebrew is not the best, but the shattering of the vessels. Those were the vessels of tohu. It says like in the beginning, God, the world was tohu and bohu. It was chaos, man, and God wanted to fix it. So the point that I'm making, and this is kind of an abstraction that might take a while to hold, but it's kind of the new idea I'm getting from that, is that the reason that tohu is really in a way higher, that chaos, this world of chaos, this chaos of my way or the highway, of I know everything, is higher because in its source, when you are with, tohu, this chaotic thing, this singularity of mind, this I know everything and you don't, when it's combined, when it's next to God, when it's in its source, it's very powerful because there is nothing else there. It's all unity up there. But as it comes down into the lower worlds, it it becomes problematic, and it has a hard time. And that's why before the world was created, before the Garden of Eden story, before the Old Testament, the Torah was created, it says there were worlds, but they all fell apart because of this idea that the people knew better than anybody else. It's like, or the kings. They talk about the kings, that the kings could not have borders in common because it had to be their way, or no way at all. So in its source, tohu is on a higher level. I think and our job is to fix the fallen sparks, is to collect the fallen sparks of tohu and bring them into tikkun, repair them, and then this will initiate the new age, as will the separation of good and evil that got mixed together in the tree of knowledge. And we'll be eating from the tree of life, and we will live forever. So now, what does that mean in terms of like the real world? The way I'm seeing it now is like, it means like if you're a super duper religious person and you have your beliefs and you're totally one with God in that space, it's a beautiful thing when you're in that space. But when you come down and you have to interact with others, you need to become a little bit, the word is buttle. You need to surrender to the all that is. You need to be able to say, you know what, man, I know everything. I totally get God. I'm on such a high level. But you know what? In the real world, man, you gotta just like say, you know what? Okay, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I'm touching something very high. But when it comes to the unity consciousness, to repairing the world, I have to like kind of like sit back and just be and realize that God's in control and He knows better than me. And I'm not God. I am God, but I'm not God. I am God in my holy soul, in the part of me that's in unity consciousness, my godly soul. But in my reptilian mind, in my other soul, I'm not, I got issues, man. I got stuff going on. I mean, and when you realize that, you may be, totally connected to godliness and you have all these visions and you're totally kumbaya and everything is cool, but we all need to be a little humble when we come together and when we come down into this world. Yes, in your meditations, you can be, totally united with the source. And hopefully, as we evolve, as our DNA strands are reconnected, and as we evolve as a culture, we will be living more and more with our holy souls as the forefront. We'll be getting out of the fear, out of the flight or fight mode, out of the survival mode, out of, I got to make a living, and how am I going to pay my mortgage, and did I get lunch for the kids? That part of your brain we will be moving away from, and we'll be moving into unity consciousness, into godly awareness, into connection, direct connection to source in a beautiful, loving way. So I think that's kind of like where we're heading. We're heading as a culture into the great awakening, where we're all going to be together, and we can do it differently, and we can honor each other's differences. We don't want to be like AI. AI is the enemy. AI is the force. AI wants us all to be the same. They want us to be nanobites, and they want to plug us into, this Borg-like thinking. And that's why most of the people that are here on the channel have had tremendous issues in their lives, because they want to you are outliers. You don't fit into the box, and therefore they want to get rid of you. I mean, they told me right out front of my job when I said I wasn't going to get the kill thing. They said, "You're out, man. You're done. You're toast. You don't follow our rules." They couldn't even. My union rep, he was incredulous. He was like, "How can you not? just do what we tell you. And I was like, I don't want to. I know about this stuff. I'm not doing it. It's not worth my life. I love my life. Whatever. A gun was pointed at the Friedecker Rebbe's head, and he said, "That thing doesn't scare me, man. You believe in one life. I believe in, I don't believe in life and death. It's not even an issue." Um, I mean, not to get into things, but in at the Council of Nicaea, from what I understand, in the Christian faith, they took out the idea of reincarnation. They said we can't control people if they believe in reincarnation. They won't do what we tell them. And I'm not singling out Christianity because it's been the kind of it like in Hasidic circles, they talk about reincarnation, but as it's kind of watered down into more orthodox and more mainstream Judaism, they kind of like they don't want to really talk about it. They don't want to reveal in public that we believe in reincarnation, and a lot of Reform Judaism has been sort of Christianized, and like I always tell the story that after my daughter passed and I had a vision, she came and she took my hand. I told it to a Reform rabbi, and she says, "Oh no, Jews don't believe in an afterlife." I'm like, you know, who says? She was wrong. Jews do believe in an afterlife, but she didn't know because whatever. Okay, so that's my little spiel. The basic thing is unity consciousness is to surrender to God's will and to become godly by getting out of the fear space, out of the anger space, out of the critical space. Stop judging yourself, man. You're fine. You're absolutely fine in my book, man, just the way you are. Don't go changing to try to please me. Anyway, okay, so that's it. So let's go to the intel. Unity consciousness, man, is going to get us out of this mess. We're recognizing the enemy. These people are horrific. They do horrible things to children. I have to remember that I'm on YouTube. They do horrendous things to children. A lot of these children that are coming across the border are missing. Are we still talking about XRP? I mean, come on, guys, man. Yeah, XRP. Yeah. Carlos, yeah, good to see you guys. Now we can see who's talking. And now we have full control of both platforms, of both Rumble and YouTube in terms of trolls. So guys, don't be afraid to use your wrenches, man. If people don't, if they don't want to participate, if they don't want to be in unity consciousness, that's fine, man. Just go somewhere else. There are plenty of channels. Okay, anyway, wind up north, smoke in Colorado from Canada, but now we have rain from the south. Wow. Yeah, Colorado's going through some stuff. I mean, you got the big dome at the Denver airport. We were looking about that carnation. Yeah, reincarnation is real. I agree with you, Cindy. I mean, I have memories that don't make sense in this lifetime, and I just recently got a flash that I just recently got, like yesterday, got a flash that my son is actually a reincarnation of Molly, who I lost a couple years, many years ago, and she just came back as Mendel. Pretty cool, right? So anyway, that and who knows? Am I sane? I don't know. I don't even think about it anymore. Okay, so we don't have to worry. Hey, Mio's here. Yeah. Hey, Mio. Okay, so let's go to. I want to go to some intel here. Let me think how to best do this. Let me go through some articles that I've already gathered, and then I'll go to a more general kind of intel. But okay, just in general, I was listening to SGN this morning. He was doing an interview. The idea that this is all going to be rolled out. It can't be like it's. He said, and this is my flaws, my feeling also. It's you're not going to have the RV next Tuesday. You're not going to have Trump back in office a week from Thursday. All these things, these things have to be rolled out slowly. There has to be a progression. It has to appear natural. Okay, so now I believe we're coming into the time period when all the systems are being exposed. The trafficking, the money, the laundering, the medical situations, the educational systems, the big tech, the mainstream media, the big corporations, they're all going to be exposed. They're already exposed, but it's going to continue. The thing with Jeffrey and Gilligan's Island, that's going to get more in the news. All these things are really unfolding, and at the same time, I believe the economy is due for a really visible crash. I mean, it's already just a ghost. They're doing a ghost dance right now. I mean, they're pretending like the stock market's really. Let me check what it is right now. Really, the stock market's going up? Really? Yeah, it's down 100 points after it was up 700 points. Gold is going up a little bit. I mean, this is just an illusion. I mean, the banks are toast, man. There's no liquidity. There's nothing behind it. They can print all the money in the world and nothing. It's never going to be fixed. And this is part of the plan that gold destroys the Fed. That things that money that's backed up by real assets, by gold and silver, platinum, palladium, whatever, copper, is is real, and that money, a debt note is not to just take over the debt. And I still can't really. Okay, so the EAS. I want to get to the. Let me just get to the title. It says EAS, which is the Emergency Broadcasting System. Is that going to come in tomorrow? Is that going to come in a week from Tuesday? I don't think so. I think it'll come in when things are. I mean, this is what SG also says. He says when there is a breakdown, there has to be a complete breakdown in society for the military to step in. So we're not there yet. We're just not there. And it could happen. It could happen tomorrow. I think it will start with a real market crash. The market is just an illusion right now. I think once the market starts going down, things will start to get a bit interesting. I don't think this is a time to worry or be scared. I mean, you should have your basic supplies. I don't think it's going to be horrific. I don't think we're going to be eating bugs or anything like that. I just don't see it. I mean, we might be stuck in our houses for a couple of weeks, but I don't see anything dramatic happen. I do not see the RV. I think that the people who listen like, well, you're gonna go, you're gonna send you an email, and you're gonna go to this like dilapidated building and make sure no one's following you. I mean, that's just the listen. The white hats are just as capable of being part of the black hat plan as the black hats. There's a lot of black hat disinformation hidden as white hats. I use Whiplash and his cronies as an example. And I hate to say we're not supposed to say anything bad about other patriots, but this guy's not a patriot. And this morning they had another horrific thing about the Jewish people, about this so-called Rabbi Finkelstein. They made up this guy, Rabbi Finkelstein eats kids. I mean, really, this is coming from reputable sources, Whiplash and Maryland Chambers and Tyranny. Oh, they're all in on it together. So these people are not for real. I would encourage you to stay away from investing with these people. I think they're a bunch of scam artists. And be careful. Just be careful out there, and do not respond to anyone on Telegram. If they say they're me and I just want to talk to you about an investment, those are scammers. Even if they come up with romantic things, these people are professional scammers. You can see a picture. I can see pictures of pretty girls, and the next minute, I'm talking to some dude in Nigeria, man, who's like, his English is, you could tell when they're scammers. But don't respond. Do not pull your money out of, or your assets out of, anything to move it anything because there's a big emergency that somebody who purports to be Whiplash or Ellie or somebody or Gila. This is all scam, and I've been scammed big time. A lot of people have been scammed on Telegram, so just be careful out there. I will never approach you and say, I have a great deal for you. I will never approach you and say, WhatsApp me. That is not me, okay? So, yeah. So, admin, look out for that. Okay, so, and again, please follow please check out my backup channel. I think we're going to need it soon. And please know that I am broadcasting twice a day, rain or shine, on Rumble. I'm pretty good about it, okay? So if you want to catch up on the latest intel, from the intel that I feel is serious intel, join us on Rumble. if anything happens to this channel, or hopefully we'll have the backup channel. I need another 600 people at least. And there's some cool posts. My friends in Nepal have put some shorts on the station, so there's some material on there. Russia's ready to attack Alaska. Yeah, it could be the beginning. Yeah, on Hindustan YouTube channel says Russia's ready to attack Alaska. Yeah, these are all going to be false flags. Right, right. Richard, right. Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change. Absolutely. But that does not mean, man, stay home and with your hands, with your, sitting on your hands. Go out and have experiences. Go out and fall in love. Go out and try things that you've never tried before, or you haven't tried in years. Try investments. I mean, I'm not an investment advisor, but I think, I've been scammed out of a lot of my assets, but I've also developed real skills. I know, I kind of know what's up. It's like, I whatever. I don't invest in this. I have nothing in the stock market, but I see like when Algorand goes down, or Stellar goes down, or, XRP goes down. I'm kind of like interested. I could put a little money in there, um, try things. If you could buy a little piece of land when the economy crashes, that could be good. I don't know. Anyway, regular investments, personally, I would stay away from. Okay. Anyway, so let's go to some more intel. Here we go. I'm just going to go through the things that I've already marked, and then we'll go to Telegram. So here we go. This is an interesting article, and this is kind of like the rollout. 4,000 years ago, the rulers of ancient Babylon discovered a technique to stave off violent revolts, and that is debt forgiveness. So that's what S.G. Anand was saying, that it's not going to be like, okay, GESARA and ASARA is now, but they could make they said, okay, we're going to forget about the debts to stop the riots on the streets. In ancient times, there was a tendency for people to become hopeless in debt to their creditors. Eventually, they would rise up and cause instability and threaten the entire regime. Now, I don't know what. Okay, so you want to hear? Let's hear a short clip by Powell.
That the debt ceiling be raised in a timely fashion so that the United States can pay its bills when and as they come due. That's a critically important thing. The failure to do that is something that could result in severe reactions, severe damage to the economy and to the financial markets, and it's just not something that we should contemplate. I'm not going to comment on particular tactics or things like that. I'm just going to say that I think we can all agree that the United States shouldn't default on any of its obligations, should pay them when and as due, and that no one should assume that the Fed or anyone else can protect the markets or the economy in the event of a failure, fully protect in the event of a failure to make sure that we do pay those. That's when they're due.
Good. Remember, this guy is a criminal. I mean, whether he's aware of the big picture, whether he actually knows the reptilian overlords, whether he's actually involved in trafficking, I doubt it. But this is a criminal organization, and even though he's wearing a suit and a nice tie, this guy is a criminal mastermind. The Fed is a private organization. It's a private criminal organization that's been stealing our money for centuries. Okay, these people, they didn't always call it the Fed, but this is a criminal organization, and the solution was to enact widespread debt cancellation, a debt jubilee. So it's in the Bible that every 49 years they forgive debt and everybody goes back to their original homes. You go back to your original house. Is that going to happen? Yeah, it could. That could be part of this. It's going to be. It's not. I don't think this is a 1 day, 2 day solution. We're already see that the white hats do not have, like next Friday, everything is going to go back to normal. First of all, it's never going back to the way it was. Thank God, because we are waking up as a planet and we are going to take back what is ours. Okay, so that's one article. Let me just see if I can, let me get out of this. What happened? Okay, let's go back to live studio. Okay, so that was one article. Let me think. The debt jubilee is forgiven, and we saw the stock market. Yeah, let me just share the stock market briefly. This is the report. This is a very liberal um, report, but you can see it's down 100 points. It was up 700 points yesterday. Gold is coming up a little bit. I mean, people are starting to understand. Morgan Stanley sees an earnings wipeout ahead for Wall. They're setting the stage here. These people always tell you the exact opposite of what's true. Not getting any worse, but not getting any better. Now, this is total, you see this business hit a wall, ISM finds. Everything seems to have leveled off, not getting any worse, not getting any better. That's utter bullshit. There's no way this economy can hold up. But this is the enemy. And if you know how to read the enemy, it's not dangerous. I mean, you can see all these articles. Apple could be cooking up 3 more 10 billion, everything's going to be okay, right? I mean, the money is fake. This criminal enterprise that's being exposed, but everything is okay. That's that's the bottom line on this from these criminals. They're not going to be in power much longer, I don't believe. Okay, those were the two things. I mean, I think that thing from Scavino really says it all. The lightning bolt hitting the Washington Monument. The 34 satanic structures have to come down. All right, let's go to some. I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to go to Telegram and we're going to look at some sources. There were some new posts I saw this morning. Yeah. Life is good, man. I mean, that's the bottom line here. Let's see what SGNon has. I'm on the SGNon. Light heavyweight kickboxer world champion escape the matrix. Okay, you can escape the matrix. I really believe all you have to do is get into your godly self and fall and become who you really are. If you get out of the fear space, if you get out of like just trying to get through it all and I'm just going to make it through, I'm going to work 3 jobs, and if you get into the space like you say, well, wait a minute. What am I really about? What do I really want to do? Like me, I mean, my back was to the wall. They said, "You'll never work again. We're not going to give you any." My poor wife freaked out. They're taking your insurance. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want health insurance. Why would I want to go to a doctor anyway? But it was a freak out because if you live in the matrix, not having insurance is the end of the world. Whatever. I just had a little procedure done on my back. I removed a thing. It was like I paid a couple $100. If I had insurance, it would I wouldn't cost anything out of pocket, but I would have been paying thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth of insurance. Whatever. And I don't trust these guys. I don't even like to go into a doctor's office anymore after what they did with the death thing, man. And you see what they did with the elections. We're allowed to talk about the elections now on YouTube. How about that, man? Have at it, right? They didn't take me down for anything I said. They took me down for a video that had already been taken down 2 years ago from an old channel. So they don't have to have a reason to take me down. So it's just that's why make sure you subscribe to the backup channel. Okay, so here's you can't see this. There are 366 million videos of children being raped in the U.S. That's more than 1 video per person that lives in the country. I mean, that is just, after acquiring the solvency of Credit Suisse Bank, after Credit Suisse began to fail, the Bank of Switzerland is now asking to delay publications of the financial results for Q2 2023, citing unexpected complexities, right? Russian missiles successfully struck Kiev yesterday afternoon, footage of the arrivals, okay? Bill Gates arrest warrant issued in Philippines for premeditated murder linked to this, man. Premeditated murder. These guys are now getting charged. I don't know if you remember when we were sitting in my backyard. It seemed like ages ago, right? A lot of you guys remember. I was broadcasting from the backyard. I was fighting the dishwashers and the cleaning lady, and um, yeah, and we're like, when's something going to happen? When is it going to happen already? And it's happening, man. It's definitely happening. The Great Awakening. They're saying it's really a trending. Okay, serious human rights abuses have consequences. Tony knows. Okay, so let me read this. We're awake. We're coming for you and your group, every last one. No one playing the game escapes. This is for new. Tony Podesta is selling his DC home. It looks his pedophile and sadistic art has been removed. I guess even he realizes that art sexually exploiting kids won't help sell a home. Tony has been AWOL since his lobbying firm went under investigation in 2017, and Trump has repeatedly asked, "Where's Tony? Has anyone actually seen this man in years?" Oh, of course, his home has a pizza oven. His Coloroma home is for sale for almost 10 million, and it's a few doors down from the Obamas. Okay, so that makes you feel better, right? Because he lives close to BO. Now, this is a very important factoid about June 5th. 60 years ago, on June 5th, 1963, President John F. Kennedy, the same one who traveled to France and drove around in a limousine that had a giant Q for a hood ornament, signed Executive Order 11110, four ones and an O, right? Initiating for the first time the death process of the U.S. Federal Reserve fiat petro serpent dollar. The EO got President K removed from the planet. This time there will be no escape. Now comes the pain, and it's signed Q. Jews against Soros. We are Jews who have enough with George Soros. I mean, anybody who thinks that this Rabbi Finkelstein is a real thing is insane. The tribunals were intentionally set up offshore. Now, increasingly, military judges are hearing testimony and arguments from a classified annex. War court proceedings streamed to Guantanamo from a secret chamber in Virginia. For those who are unaware of the enormous complexity of a disinformation and espionage-specific ops war, and how military justice could and has been doled out in intermittent amounts over the past 3 to 5 years, have a read of this article and connect the dots. Okay, so it's an article about Guantanamo. Okay. What are they hiding? What's this? An investigation is underway this morning after a train derailment alongside Interstate 5 in the Camp Pendleton area. The derailment occurred at about 3 a.m. in a train yard near the freeway lanes. It was not immediately clear if anyone was hurt. What was this about? What is derailment meaning? Okay, so, these guys, like the last time they had a derailment, right, 6,000 pounds of TNT went missing. 7 Space Force units get a permanent home, 4 in Colorado. The Space Force's new operational unit, Delta 15, stood up in March, and that supports Space Command's Protect and Defend mission, will be based at Shriver SFB in Colorado Springs. This is from SGAnon. Have you been having problems with Rumble? Twice now I went to see if you posted a video and there was no longer following you and you had to refollow. Weird. Yes, many of my auto files have had tens of thousands of views removed, and a shadow ban cap has been seen. There is also evidence of algorithmic minimization of the Q News Patriot channel, which I suspect is more AI driven than nefarious human actors. Subscriber counts ebb and flow, but taken all together, the digital battlefield is still alive and well. So even on Rumble, man, well, our real numbers have never, I don't think I've ever been able to see my real numbers. I don't know, but it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, it bothers me a little bit. Beware of false prophets. I am not a prophet. You are not a prophet. We are not prophets. Focus on the mission. This is from Q. Eyes on the prize. This is a patriot who pulls no punches. Give him a view or a follow and decide for yourself. Just how many angles are there in an espionage disinformation war campaign? And I'm reading from SGAnon on Telegram. Okay, I'm going to go to another channel now. I'm staying away from Marilyn Chambers and all the Gang of Three, even though I know they're probably publishing on this new channel, which is, what's his name? I'll get it in a minute. David Wilcox. This is, I think some of his information is on the money. I don't see anything new here. Okay, I don't see anything new from him. It could be that my computer wasn't rebooted. But let's go see if the White Hats have anything. I thought I saw something new somewhere. Boy, I'm not seeing it. Okay, let me just go through it again. All chats, yeah. Here we go. Okay. I believe we read this last night. But no, this is new, and we can read this on YouTube, so that's really cool. Religion as a program, it could be. It seems that way to me, Brian. I hate to say it, and I'm not. I think they're all. I'm not going to say Judaism is free from some programming influences. I was saying that a while ago. I no longer believe that, but yeah, there is some programming involved. I mean, it's very nice to think that these reptiles, they got into our TV, they got into our business, they got into our schools, they got into our, government, they got into our everything, but they didn't get into religion, right? They weren't behind the removal of reincarnation from Christianity in 300 AD, or, and I don't even want to say it, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get any more trouble with my fellow patriots, my fellow Jewish patriots. But there are questions. There are questions that could be brought up about certain things. But as far as this fake Rabbi Finkelstein, that's a flaw that scammers like what's his name? Whiplash, Marilyn Chambers, and Tyranny love to parade around. It's the Jews. It's the Jews' fault, man, that they went through the Holocaust, that the Kabbalah has just tried to destroy them in Israel with their death thing. No, but it's the Jews, and then they tell you who the real Jews are. They're the real Jews, and we're just fake. So we've been faking it through the Inquisition, through the Holocaust, through the this latest Holocaust. We're just big fakers, man. Right? We just do it because we like people hating us, and you know. Anyway, okay. So prepare to have your mind blown. This is the unveiling the hidden truths of the 2020 elections, and let's see if this stays up on YouTube. Prepare to have your mind blown as we expose a shocking plan by the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, to steal the 2020 elections and capture control of the United States government. Discover the intricate web of deceit involving mainstream media, intelligence agencies, and tech giants that facilitated this foreign operation. The truth will leave you speechless. De-evolution plan, the secret military strategy. Enter the covert world of the de-evolution plan, a classified operation by the U.S. military to protect and preserve President Donald Trump's administration. Explore the power dynamics within this plan, with key figures like Ezra Cohn Watnick yielding unprecedented authority. Brace yourself as declassified information is revealed. The secret military plan. So the de-evolution idea is that the military has been in control. All the things we're seeing with JB and the economy and all this other stuff is just a movie. I mean, why would anybody have somebody, who just stumbles over himself as the leader of the free world? They wouldn't. It's a movie. It's the military's in control, and they're allowing these things to occur. The Great Replacement. Richard, by the way, it's really great to see you. I just want to give a shout out to Richard, man, because he works hard. He works in Colorado. He's just an amazing guy. But I just want to shout out because, as the first time my channel got taken down, which was like 2 years ago, I was like, what do I do now, man? I mean, I remember I had I'd worked up to 10,000 subs then. And it was like, my life was finally decent. I was making money. I was able to live again. And then they out of nowhere, they just took me down for the first time. And Richard really saved the channel. He just kept infusing money into my PayPal account, and I finally had to say, like, Richard, it was like he really saved the channel. But I said, Richard, I just can't accept it anymore because I know you're so beautiful. You would continue to give. It was just hard for me to take. It was like I felt like I wasn't giving him anything back. That's why I don't generally encourage like just donations, although somebody to give me a $10 donation, I really appreciate it on PayPal. But I'd much rather you invest in things that I believe were going to lead to good health. Yeah, um, good health, right? And by the way, I just want to give a shout out that I never really talk about it. This stuff really rocks. I never really give a shout out to Purium, but if you want to just give a little bit of money to the channel and you feel like you're getting something, you could buy even a little Purium. Purium has great organic smoothies and all kinds of cool stuff. I bought an aloe thing for digestion. I buy white ginseng at White Ginseng Drink. They have an incredible wild cherry drink. Everything is organic and easy to digest. I make a smoothie every morning. They have beet powder and green powders and every kind of powder you can imagine. I take this stuff, the biome thing for my gut every morning. I mean, if you, I would rather you get something back, something physical in exchange if you want to support the channel. So I just, it's not the ideal. I would rather have YouTube pay me what they really owe me, but okay, man, they're run by AI. They're part of they're GOG. This is Google, Gog and Magog. They're part of the CIA. They were owned by the CIA. I mean, these are ZIs from Germany, the same people, the Ford, how did the Germans who were poor, who had to had to bring wheelbarrows full of cash to buy a cup of coffee, how did they suddenly become the greatest military machine in the world? It's because industrialists like not Gerald Ford, but like Ford and the Rockefellers all gave them money so they could do a huge satanic ritual called World War II. And they did a huge satanic ritual called World War I and the Civil War and the Napoleon War, and probably wars for thousands of years have been instigated, have been created by this evil force, the 13 bloodline families, the Vatican, the Jesuits, whatever you want to call them, the Illuminati. They've been doing this for centuries. Anyway, the de-evolution plan makes it look like things are really happening in the world, and it doesn't make sense, but really the military is in complete control. We don't see it. At some point we will see it when things get really cooked up, when people when their bank accounts go to zero and they realize that this is a death, this is designed to hurt you. They will be, and that the election was stolen, and all these other cool things that people will find out. It could be that, this is what Q has been telling us, that everything is going to heat up, but the military is in full control, even though the bad guys have been buying up a lot of ammo, but so have the good guys. Anyway, I shouldn't probably say these things on YouTube, but The Great Replacement, Changing the Course of History, uncovered the astounding truth behind the secret operation to replace politicians, high-ranking officials, and even generals and admirals. Dive deep into the covert maneuvers executed to ensure JB's victory as part of the grand global military sting operation. The fate of the nation hangs in the balance. So letting them win the election was a big sting, man. Everybody knows they lost the election, but they let them win because Q says over and over again, why interfere with an enemy in the process of destroying themselves? And this comes from The Art of War, I believe I was told yesterday. COVID-19, the CCP's, okay, I have to cool it for YouTube, but witness the chilling moment when the CC that unleashed this thing, uncover the sinister connection, and it wasn't the Chinese. It's not the Chinese. It's the deep state. Okay, don't be confused by the CCP label. It's the deep state. This was a deep state plan. They had people like Bill Gates's grandfather was behind the Spanish flu virus that also vaccine, all these things. These were planned hundreds of years ahead. These people are, they have high technology. In the thick of battle, the reconstitution phase. Hold on tight. And this is, I think, where we're holding. Hold on tight as we enter the final phase of the de-evolution plan, the reconstitution of America. Experience the intensity of this moment where the military takes the reins, and we're not quite there yet, and dismantles the forces that conspired against the nation. It is happening behind the scenes. So we're in it, I think. I know I'm saying contradictory things, but we're in it. Stand strong, patriots, as the grand finale of this gripping movie unfolds before your eyes. Military might, the last line of defense. Discover the unwavering commitment of the military to safeguard the Constitution and defend the United States. Witness their crucial role in monitoring foreign and domestic entities involved in this CCP foreign operation. Brace yourself for the climactic ending that will determine the future of the nation. The final act. Stay tuned for the unveiling. Prepare for the ultimate revolution I'm sorry, prepare for the ultimate revelation as the truth behind the 2020 elections and the de-evolution plan come to light. Nothing is as it seems, and every action has meaning. Stay strong, patriots, as the final pieces of this extraordinary puzzle fall into place. The conclusion is within reach. What does that mean? Does it mean next week? Does it mean 6 months? Does it mean 5 years? I don't know. I think it's rolling out pretty fast. I think things are gonna be speeding up, but I would not wage any kind of bet on, we are superheroes. Yeah, that's for sure. Go back to the original house, right? That was the jubilee. Everyone went back to their, like, original estate. Let's see, we have how we doing on this chat 428 restream. Okay, so everyone should know. I just want to lay out. Let's see, what time is it? 12. Okay, so we did an hour. We'll be back tonight at 7:45. If I'm not on this channel on YouTube, I will be on Rumble for sure. Now, please join again here on the bottom. Join this channel so that I can stay on. I'll have a backup channel. God forbid anything happens to this channel. We will be having Dr. Stacy tomorrow at 3:30. She's going to come on whatever channels are up to talk about LifeWave, and at 6:30 we're going to talk about the business of LifeWave. So that Zoom link you'll be able to get at 3:30 if you come by, or I'll try. Nader, I mean, no promises. I'll try to post it. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be meeting with Jay, and we're going to talk about the business of ASEA at 5 o'clock. That'll be a Zoom. And then on Thursday on School, SKOOL, which you can get through to Patreon. And I don't mind you pay. I don't feel so bad about Patreon because we are apparently putting videos on Patreon that are extra videos. So you get extra videos on Patreon. But if you go to Patreon, and I don't think you have to join, you can go right to School, the School community. And if you go to the calendar, you press on the link on the calendar and you can come to our meeting. We do a family Zoom meeting every Thursday at 5 o'clock. Okay. And I don't do that much of the talking. I've been talking a little more lately, but Jenna does a lot. Jenna's really smart and she knows a lot. She knows a lot of the players. She understands the big picture. She's been doing this a long time. Jenna speaks a lot, and we have Lorna comes on, and Jill, and Peggy sometimes comes. I mean, and we just have a nice meeting. And Julie Harris comes on, and again, I don't want to, if you're interested in like some handmade soaps, Julie can give you her email address if you don't have it. I don't want to really get into that. Remember Brian from Spiritual Bean Coffee, and there are a lot of other really cool things. I don't want to get so much into that, but I just want to mention that these are great products that I use. Like I use ASEA, I use LifeWave, I use Purium every day, and I give them to my mom. My mom's coming soon, so we're going to have to deal with some possible little movements of the meeting times. I think we'll be able to pull it off. School is louche. Well, yeah, School is louche. Yeah, school. You mean the real School is louche? This is SKOOL. We've got much to unlearn. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. We have a lot to unlearn. Most of it really like the enlightenment process, man. Just stop being afraid and trust. If you trust in yourself and trust in source, you will be given information that will propel you into a new reality. You don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to sit on a mountain. It says my Patreon creator page is getting an update. I mean, I think, we have people behind the scenes. I have guys in Nepal making shorts of my live videos, but we're coming into this amazing age. And I think the family is going to grow. It's going to, at some point, the AI is going to lose its grip and we will start to really expand. But as it is now, I think we're just really lucky to have this platform and to have a way to communicate with each other and to share ideas. So yeah, we don't, like that's what Q says. We are not prophets, man. I mean, and people, they're prophets. I don't know, man. Maybe they are. No one is forcing you into a SIA. The thing with the SIA, you have to understand is the money goes back to the people in the that are involved with it, not to advertisers. So if you want to complain about the marketing scheme, goes exactly against the mainstream. If you want to be part of the corporation, the corporate structure, you that's why this guy would not sell out the patent to corporations, because he knew big medicine, there's stuff that actually cures you as a SIA, that they would squash it. They would have bought it and made it just like real automobiles. We have hydrogen powered automobiles. We have all kinds of technologies that have been squashed by big tech, by JP Morgan. They took Tesla's ideas and they just hit them. But apparently John Trump held on to the papers, and we're going to see the benefits of that eventually. All right, so we will see you tonight at 7:45. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube, and again, check out the channels. Check us out on Rumble. There are a lot of shorts on my new channel, and just have a great day. That's really the best revenge. But protect your DNA, protect yourself, and don't come out of the matrix the best you can. If you're in the matrix, just take it with a grain of salt and know that it won't be there for long. Okay, God bless. We'll talk to you later, and kumbaya, man.